Hey, folks, welcome to Ferris No,
No.
the security table.
Much ado about nothing. Yeah.
But we are big fans of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and we do hope to maybe experience that day at some point in the future.
Just
where
not
we,
when he shoots the car off the back of the.
Yeah, but we do want to borrow
I cried.
Matt's Ferrari and drive around the city of Chicago.
It's a little Matchbox Ferrari, so it's it might not get very far.
So we're gonna need a shrink ray. Dang it! To invent some new technology.
Honey, I Shrunk the Fretmonters.
Yeah, that would be a terrible movie. I wonder if Rick Moranis is available though, because he'd be awesome as the fourth person there.
He's preparing for ludicrous speed.
Yeah, true. That was his other. He was known for a couple of different things. Plus Ghostbusters, wasn't he?
Plus
Ghostbusters, yeah.
I heard he had a little bit of a part there.
Yeah. Kind of important role. Kind of tied the whole thing together. Spoiler alert. Sorry for those that haven't seen a 35-year-old movie.
Just have AI reproduce it. And
hey, I had an old movie weekend. I watched The Final Countdown. The Philadelphia Experiment.
The song by Europe?
No. The movie.
Countdown. Oh, there's a different one. Okay,
wait, I'm shocked.
What, that he can sing?
Oh no, I can't. I just fake it.
And well,
that was a complete fake. All right,
but
Final Countdown.
This is the one where the Nimitz goes back into time to December 7th, 1941, and then you have the whole "Do we or don't we," which is actually a very, very nice thing to entertain. Would you or wouldn't you?
Okay, because you brought up because you brought up Europe. You don't have to play it now, but I'm going to put it in chat.
Is it the Final Countdown?
It is, but it's not. But it is, but it isn't.
Okay.
Okay, now I have to. Oh my God, no!
It's the ultimate cat video.
No, just no.
I'm not even going to be tortured by a cat video. Only Matt would send a cat video on a podcast.
No.
And for those who are listening at home, you have to go check out Rock and Roar.
That's it.
Your
From
cat's
now,
the final meow down.
It's Monday. No. It's Monday, 10 before 8, and it can only get better now because that's it.
He's our find your happy place. Find your happy place.
Damn. Can I have a picture of a dog, please?
Yeah, something other than cats meowing the Final Countdown. That's just
the cats don't meow, but that's okay.
Okay, I think that's a perfect segue because there's only one thing that we can talk about after cats playing Europe. It's
that would
final
be
meow. Oh my God. Let's talk about DAST.
Let's talk about AI pen testing and DAST.
Can DAST be deader?
Oh yeah, DAST is. We said in a previous episode that DAST was mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
But
the zombie of DAST
is DAST a zombie that's making its way back into the zeitgeist?
Rather than zombie, I feel like somebody dug it up, beat it, and I was putting it in the ground again.
So it's like Weekend at Bernie's if Bernie was dead for like 2 weeks and buried.
Something like that.
Then they dug him up and tried to put the ropes on his hand to make him wave and everything. Okay.
And then the hand comes off and the arms fall.
It's Night of the Living Dead.
It is.
And it's
no. It's Army of Darkness DAST.
I mean, you wanted a chainsaw on your hand, or
always.
Nobody had.
But it could be worse. It could be Hot Fuzz, and then we'll be talking about fuzzing as well.
That's true. All right. Well, getting serious now.
Wait, what?
What? I didn't sign up for that.
I just tried to do a transition here to a serious topic.
Get into the role. Get into the role.
So just if you guys could both slap yourselves a couple of times like they do on TV, that'd be great. Thanks.
It'd be really cool if you had an effect you could go like.
Sure, AI can add it in post. Let's see. So AI pen testing. When when we say AI pen testing, we talking about Mythos? Are we talking about Claude doing some pen testing? Like,
just think of what pen
is
testing is, right? It's investigating a system, trying a bunch of stuff, and then finding bugs. So if AI has the ability to do things like interface with network services and test ports, right? That's what DAST is, just runtime testing as opposed to static testing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's
AI
dynamic.
can
It's
do that. If humans can do it, why can't AI?
No. Wait. Big difference here. Dynamic and runtime.
Yeah.
Let's not mix both things. DAST is dynamic. Runtime.
Okay.
Is
Sorry.
a different thing.
So you're right. It is dynamic in that traditionally it's human executed so that the human can perform a test, look at the output, and then adapt the test to attempt to find a path through the system to exploitation.
That's how it's done, but it's called dynamic in opposition to static. So you have static code analysis, and then you have dynamic testing. People wanted to be smart, so they said, "Oh, this is static."
Runtime.
Right. No, DAST happens when you have something running.
Right.
So the people wanted to be very discerning between the two disciplines and said, okay, static code analysis, it's static. The code just sits there. You grab, you read. It's fun. Awesome for the whole family.
It's
and
fun.
then you have...
It's not fun.
It's not fun. That's why we let the AI do it, because it's not fun.
Wait, let me go to the other side of the scale. Now you have dynamic testing, which is dynamic.
Ooh.
Aerodynamic.
You know what that means? That means it'll take at least
just
a week to finish running. That's how dynamic it is.
And you still can't say if it covered the whole place.
And mind you, it only runs a week because you can't run it longer because you run out of tokens.
Right. No, wait. We haven't gotten to the tokens yet. We are still dusting.
I don't think DAST is being driven by AI at this point.
No.
At least I haven't seen anybody say that, this is the AI DAST.
Actually, I've seen it. I think that my question is it still DAST if it's AI driven? Are we still talking about the same thing?
It's still dynamic application security testing.
Right,
just AI driven, not human driven.
Right, but then
or tool driven for that matter. I mean, maybe the AI wrote a specific tool to target a particular interface and then executed it.
So wait, let's walk it back and put things into that word again, context. We are addressing the post by Amanda Alvarez, right? A DevSecOps enthusiast, that begins with the hot take: AI pen testing is going to make the case for DAST stronger, not weaker. Let's start from the bottom line. Anything will make the case stronger because it can't be weaker.
Well, if it's mostly dead, it could be weaker, but
it's mostly dead because people still have a fondness to selling it. It's dead. Jim, it's dead, Jim. Okay.
Tis but a scratch. It's like the knight in Monty Python.
No, it said that it's yellow when it was blue and it was tossed into the valley. So forget about it. It's not.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. So the idea behind the post is that AI accelerates everything. The attack surface grows faster than ever. Lord knows how. And the pressure calls for better, smarter testing and a clear understanding of where each tool actually fits in the stack. Again, I will go out in the rain and say, if it calls for better, smarter testing, then we are not talking about DAST. DAST was an exhaustion thing. DAST was enumerate the endpoints and hit each one of them with this battery of PHP. Do you have PHP in the server? Calls.
So,
right?
Yeah. So what you're raising is a really important point, Ezra, I think. DAST was a reaction to a concept or an idea that QA-based security testing was faulty because QA doesn't know how to do security testing. And so a plethora of tools were invented.
DAST. I just had this epiphany. You guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong here. But DAST is the commercial market of DAST tools is the result of an evolution of open source tools called scanning tools that people used to use, but they never cost money. Like I remember Nessus in the early days, right? Nessus was a free open source tool that everybody was using and nobody was paying for. And then Nessus got the idea to turn it into a company, and all of a sudden the world of DAST was born.
You mean somebody monetized open source?
Yes, but but I'm just realizing I never had this brain wave before that DAST actually wasn't invented. It was just morphed from scanning tools. And in those days, it still kind of ran the same way. It still would take you like a week to scan something with a lot of those old scanning tools.
Well, I mean, part of that was there was a host of reasons for that, right? Nessus had whether in early days, I don't think Nessus parallelized, scanning.
Oh no, it was like single threaded.
Right, it was single threaded, and systems were getting more and more complex, so they would take some time, and then have to adapt, and they would crash, or they would have like these insane timeouts because you wanted to wait forever for results.
Or in those days, you would crash the actual unit under test.
Yes,
with the scanning tool
without any sort of way of like, oh, can you restart my VM? Oh, let me call IT for that.
Yeah, there was no VM in these days. It was like, hey, can you go restart that server down in the data center, please?
Yeah. I gotta fly to the data center to go turn it off and back on again.
I'm going to agree with you guys, but also go back a bit more and say that it wasn't because of the open source tools. I think that DAST came about because there was nmap, and people would run nmap and then look at the list of ports that came out and say, okay, what now? And a bunch of people said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you found a port 80 that you had like this script that would try for these known issues that everybody keeps falling into and just see if they are there. And that's what started the whole thing. But notice, you guys put it to the QA place, to the QA, let's see if things are working well place. I pulled it to the, let's see if it's misconfigured or if I can do something with it. So DAST had always this thing between QA and between being a very powerful tool for offensive objectives that we shouldn't publish and we shouldn't let it fall into the wrong hands. Whoa. So that's where I think the DAST got its bad name from.
Well, so interesting. So a couple of things here. QA. So first off, QA testing should always be doing positive and negative testing, right? There should always be this. You want to validate the functionality, but you also want to look for what can go wrong in QA. That's what QA traditionally would have been checking for. Security tools were always looked at as special because they were security tools, and QA didn't have security experience for the most part, unless you found security people or you had security teams using those tools. So I wonder if it may be a combination of, did DAST appear because there's always a shadow IT problem. Ooh, scary shadow IT. And you had these hacker tools that were getting used by people to discover things. And of course they're using open source, so it comes from somebody who's coding in their basement. Let's build a market segment around packaging these capabilities to give to engineering teams so they can do their own security testing and monetize that. Is that where the market of tools and the capability of tools came from?
That's exactly what happened, and I can say so because I was there. Like, no, seriously. I mean, back in the dark ages.
Wait, QA or security or the marketing monetizing part?
Back in the dark ages, 97, 98, I think it was. And that's actually the first time that I worked with Adam, right? We were working at a place called Netect that later got bought by Bindview. And we were writing this first vulnerability scanner of sorts. It was called Drums. It was called Hacker Shield, and actually Hacker Shield 2. But
two.
Not just the first one; it's the second one.
Yeah, it was the second one. It was the improved version.
Mm-hmm.
But good times. Amazing people. Seriously, amazing people. People that I deeply respect to this day. But the fun thing is that it blurred the division between testing tool, pen testing tool, the name didn't exist back then, and QA tool. So you could point it at yourself, you could point it at others. It was a whole fun thing. But I think that the place where I'm starting to get something with. Oh, so first of all, the post doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's going to be the June 10 discussion at the League of Cyber Defense Champions, which is actually a very interesting group.
You know them?
Yeah, I do. It's the evolution of the security champions community that existed by Dustin.
That's Lear's
yes
effort.
Yes, and it's going to be a discussion teamed. Will AI pen testing make DAST obsolete? And what I keep coming back to the text here is that I don't think that intentionally, but I think that it creates a very interesting question, at least in my head. When you read something like, where should DAST end and AI pen testing begin? Forget the end of the thing. But when I see that, I'm immediately thinking, wait. We're talking about DAST and AI pen testing as pen testing of AI, or AI pen testing as AI doing the pen testing?
That's not where I thought you were going to go.
Where did you think I was going?
Is DAST and pen testing two different activities?
Oh, 100%. Of course.
Yes.
So does DAST have a place does DAST have a place versus pen testing, or should pen testing replace DAST as a thing?
I think you use some of the DAST techniques, to Izar's point earlier about an AI potentially writing a script to replicate some type of function that a DAST would have done, the AI pen testing process. So yeah, I think you use some of the principles of DAST in pen testing. I think you have to.
You're not
reinventing port scanning, for example.
The market of DAST was, as we talked about, it was a set of tools that did automated analysis, interrogation, and interface testing primarily. Yeah. But its market was automation. Take the human out of the process, right?
Where it started before that. Back in the dark ages, in the years that I was working, I started in security the same time Izar was talking about, he and Adam at this other startup. People used to pay us to do what was called a vulnerability scan.
Exactly. And
because nobody knew how to do a vulnerability scan. So they would pay us a lot of money to run a set of tools and then write a report for them that showed them what their vulnerabilities were. Now, it was not a pen test.
Right.
It was a vulnerability scan.
Right.
And it used to suck because it was really boring to execute those things.
And building on top of that, let's be honest, DAST today is pen testing that you bought on Temu. Okay? It is. Sometimes you order a pen test, you get this nice report, and you start reading it, and you go, I know exactly which tool generated this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, unfortunately, there are still some less reputable outfits that work like that. Oh, we're just going to run our customized tool and work off the results. If it finds something strange, then we're going to look for more stuff.
But that's the big point, right? DAST was mostly automation to generate provide a set of information to the customer, right? So you run the tool would try to be dynamic, meaning it would try to adapt to problems that it showed. Like, so if it's going to do a port scan, it's going to run through a series of ports. And if it runs into a problem, or if it says, oh, I find this port and it's maybe a redirect, it may or may not have intelligence to do the redirect. A pen test is human generated traditionally, where they take that output and then try the next thing. They try to do the pivot. They try to do the exploit. They try to do the whatever, right? To figure out, okay, this happened, so therefore I should do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so is DAST as a technology versus pen testing as a function, are they mutually exclusive? The market for DAST may be dead.
Look,
again, but the technologies are still there. And pen testing, as you've described, relies on them.
I get everything that you said. I agree with 99% of it.
9%?
99.
Okay.
I agree with 9%.
But just 9%. But
not even 9.9.
My issue here is to say, I think that you put it like the DAST technology. There's no DAST technology, because you went there and you in like one sentence you described the whole what is DAST thing. You part map the thing. You found something. You test it with a bunch of stuff. If I found this, then I do that. Right? So it's a set of rules. You just throw them on, based on what you get from the port, based on the headers that you get, based on the banners, whatever.
But solely on that port.
Yeah. But
right.
now, in theory, if you take that creativity thing that you pointed out, that's the difference between the pen testing and DAST. If you were to take any, I'm not saying anything specific, but any coding agent today, and say, here's an IP, pen test it for me, that thing would be able to write the port scanner itself. Assuming it has privileges, it's going to be able to open the ports. It's going to be able to do the scan. It's going to be able to interpret the results. It's going to be able to, in very, very big air quotes, have the creativity to figure out the next step.
And we should... Okay.
Go.
Sorry, finish your thought. I'll wait.
Some people contend that it's going to even have the huge air quotes intelligence to figure out stuff that other people haven't figured out yet, to infer new ways of attacking what it finds, right? Why? Because it's going to be able to go into the net and GitHub and find the source code of the daemon that it just found that it's running. Blah 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 blah.
Right. And that's actually the really important part, I think, that we're missing in here, or we're not missing. We need to bring into this conversation the goal of DAST versus the goal of pen testing, and the methods that pen testers use traditionally, right? What is DAST? DAST is, I need to be thorough to find as many vulnerabilities as possible. And thorough and find as many vulnerabilities as possible may have a mismatch. We've seen this with static code analysis, right? There are methods for static code analysis, which are basically grep the code, look for everything, high false positive rate, or try to be smart about it and miss a bunch of stuff, and now you question whether that tool is actually valuable. DAST hit the same problem, right? You can be very, very thorough and verbose, take 8 days to run and produce tens of thousands of issues that nobody can look at, or take an hour to run and produce nothing and then wonder why I bought this tool, right? Whereas, but its goal is to find as many problems as possible.
Your dog agrees.
I know.
100%.
But pen tests is meant to find the ways in, the vulnerabilities. It has to. Pen testing. So DAST is meant to find as many vulnerabilities as possible. Pen testing is meant to find the most serious things.
So just an FYI for our audience, Matt is actually at our Northeast studio today, which just happens to be next door to a veterinarian. So that's why you constantly hear some barking.
/ ducky daycare.
But yes, it's also doggy daycare.
I think I'm going to disagree there, because I think that DAST is not looking for thoroughness. DAST is looking to go over the catalog of things that it knows about. There's this hard set of rules.
It's
that
not
it knows how
inventing
to-
anything new.
That's the method. I
DAST
think
as
you're.
it is.
I think you're highlighting the method versus the goal of
Right.
DAST.
But that's the thing. Because it's bound, because the method itself is bounded, we can't say that it's trying to aim for finding the maximum. It's going to try to identify all the things that it knows. And once it runs through the catalog, it's going to raise its hand and say, hey, I don't know anything else to do here.
That's right.
Like if there was theoretically one more port with one more daemon running in it and it's not in my catalog,
yeah, certainly. It may have, it almost certainly will have been implemented with a fixed set of rules.
Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, AI is supposed to be this algorithmically flexible thing that's going to figure out from what's coming from the scan what are the possible implications of it and figure out how to best attack it. And we have this specifically trained models that are more sensitive to the possibilities and this and that and the other one. At the end of the day, they're trying to achieve the same result. One of them is much newer and has much more technology applied to it and much more research. And all the things that we learned in all these years that DAST has been dead are being applied to AI pen testing. Right? So
I actually don't think DAST is dead anymore.
oh.
You heard it here, folks.
I think
risen.
I think we should start a DAST company and build a new tool. I was doing a little bit of research here because I thought I asked Claude, are people still buying DAST tools?
Oh,
and Claude pointed out that the DAST market was valued at roughly $3.8 billion in 2025, expanding to $4.5 billion in 2026, with projections to reach $12.7 billion by 2032.
But Chris, of course they are.
So
it's self-assurance.
It is, and regulatory pressure is high,
and
which
people
is driving
pay
a lot of the
dearly for
use
that.
of this.
Yeah,
which that's a great business idea. So that's my next business idea. I'm actually after throwing all this, saying all these mean things for the last couple of years. I'm joining the company. I'm joining the idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's just call it Lazarus.
You couldn't even say it.
But it does seem like it's. I mean, I was not expecting that. I was expecting to see a decline, like the market was shrinking.
No.
Market's
Exactly
actually
because
expanding.
of what Matt was saying. No, it's fire and forget, right? You just press the button, walk away, come back a couple of hours later. It didn't find anything. We are perfect. We're good. We're done.
Yeah.
Ship
So interestingly, I was also doing some research to see, to remember what the actual definition of DAST versus pen test is. And here's one resource I found. I won't tell you who said it. Dynamic application security testing is a practice of using software tools to simulate malicious interactions with the system to perform actions to find vulnerabilities. Penetration testing is the practice of attempting to find and exploit security vulnerabilities in a live environment. They're the same thing.
Yeah,
that's not. I wouldn't describe that as a very good definition.
So, but the important part is adaptiveness. Pen testing is human controlled and can take action based on the output of the tool to do the next thing, maybe refocus the tool to do something else. Whereas the DAST tool is not adaptive. And like this is method versus function.
What I learned in my Claude research is that most of the DAST providers are using what they call AI-powered validation engines. And the leading vendors claim to have dropped the false positive rate from 82%, which is what the OWASP benchmark data showed us a number of years ago that I think Dave Wickers did. To in 2024 drop the rates to 5 to 8% through this use of AI to validate the findings and confirm they're actually real. So at least it's not as crappy as it used to be. Still crappy at 5 to 8% error rate, but
which is amazing marketing nowadays, right?
Yeah, but
by us, we're not as crappy as we used to be.
Human pen testing may have hit a false positive rate as well, but they weeded out those false positives because they wanted it, because of the value that you get out of the human interaction from pen testing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if AI can do both, is DAST the automation of human testing?
Lord, no.
Is that what DAST, the market segment, or
it's
DAST,
where
the
it came
technology
from.
is?
It's where it came from, because we were running these things manually.
And now we're going back to that. So now AI replaces the human. Is it automation or is it not automation?
So you're saying that AI replaces DAST. AI pen testing is replacing DAST.
No, I'm saying that AI is making DAST as capable as pen testing, and you may not need pen testing anymore.
No. What I say is
I like
that
controversy, so I'm just trying to hype it up.
You had your false positives and false negatives in DAST for one set of reasons: for the rigidity of the rules, for the different environments that you could set it up, and I'm assuming non-cooperative DAST, right? Where you point things, where you point your scanner at something that you don't control, and basically you're doing pen testing with it. And now on top of that, we are putting in the false positives and false negatives that come from the uncertainty of using AI. So we are compounding two sets of false stuff to create a new reality that we are saying it's better than the old one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm not a statistician, but
nice use of the word, though.
Right? It sounds.
You used it properly in a sentence. There you go.
Right? And it's only Monday morning.
Now can you spell it?
Yeah.
STASTICIN. Statistician. Okay, fifth language. Well, so anyway,
after C.
That's his first language. He's literally growing up as a baby, and he's just got a C book, and he doesn't even speak any other language other than
it's not that far from the truth, unfortunately. But yeah,
int I equals 2.
I was born with an asterisk in my hand, but where was I going with this? So yeah, so we have false times false, and you get to even more false, right? So I think that in the mirror illusion hall of this whole thing, it just comes as, again, what Chris said before: we suck a bit less, but we still suck. So I think that if I had to get a budget and decide where am I going to do my testing and where am I going to get my assurance, I think that there's a bunch of other things that I would be doing before I rely on DAST or AI-assisted DAST. And that definitely includes people, because people will definitely look at you and say, yeah, we should be testing in a different way and not like this. Mm-hmm. So to this question that's in the post again, will AI pen testing tools augment human pen testers or eventually replace them? I could see the eventually replacing them, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that the augmentation is already happening. And there isn't just a huge case being done about it. But the thing is it is focused on people, not on DAST. So you
AI's got to come up with an original thought, though, before it could ever replace human pen testing.
Does it really? If it knows all the code paths, if it can identify all the code paths,
but can it find this? Can it find something that it's never that nobody's ever found before?
But now you're hitting the white box, gray box, black box problem, right? So Matt is saying if it knows all the code paths, so it's white box. Mm-hmm. Chris is saying, can it find something that nobody has found before? So it's probably black box. I'm looking at the results of a port scan and figuring out something that people haven't yet. As always, probably the answer is in the gray box, where you're going to have some access to a threat model, some access to source code, some runtime stuff to see the way that you are poking what it's actually doing to the box. So probably that's where the value resides at the end of the day.
So we already know that frontier AI models can find 0 days in open source products.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Copy fail, a host of Linux vulnerabilities, the one curl vulnerability I think that Mythos found. We know that open source, even with full white box techniques, you can still find 0 days.
Mm-hmm.
Can a human could have found it, or AI could have found it. But are there some things that AI today cannot find that humans must be?
That's my premise here, is that I have not seen anything to tell us that we've reached AGI.
I'm not suggesting AGI. I'm just saying that in the course of execution, that it stumbles upon something that has never been seen before. Is it possible?
But will it know that it's stumbled upon something if it's never seen it? If nobody's ever seen it before, meaning no human on Earth has ever seen it. Also, no AI, no computer has ever seen it. Like, can AI, as it exists today, connect the dots on an original thought of this is something that's nobody's ever seen before? That's what I don't honestly know the answer. I don't know that anybody knows the answer.
In other words, you're saying that it will it may find something and just, oh, it's a finding, without the understanding of, oh wait, that's a critical 0 day.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Apparently, AI has already proven mathematical theorems that have not been proven by people. I read somewhere that it's happened, and now comes the question: is that creativity or exhaustion of a solution space that people just didn't have the time or inclination or whatever to go look for? And for us, it ends up being the same thing. I think that's where things get more relevant, and something that we have actually pointed out a number of times in the context of threat modeling. And I think that it's exactly that same context that comes back here, is the garbage in, garbage out thing. AI will gladly work on what it knows about something, will even more gladly invent stuff that it thinks that it needs if it doesn't know. So it's going to fill in the blanks, play Mad Libs with whatever it needs, and we have to deal with the consequence.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it will only act on the things that it knows certainly to do whatever degree of certainty that it knows. So I think that the limitation here is, what does it know? What are the base facts that it's acting out of, right? So there's the whole theory of, again, the Chinese room. If you're giving a system symbols, and that system has rules to translate those symbols into other symbols, and you are getting symbols back, is that intelligence? Some people say yes, some people say no. My point here is that for us, for our problem, for security, the important thing is, are you giving all the right symbols so that you can trust that whatever comes back is something that you can use? So I don't think that it's an AGI. I don't think that it's a creativity problem. I think is, are we painting the right initial picture here so that an AI can actually be helpful in generating the symbols that we have to consume and make decisions on, right?
And do we have the right check points being done between different AIs to confirm whether that something anomalous has occurred?
Anomalous means being able to detect that there's a change that is meaningful, that is a change that is unexpected or meaningful, right?
Yeah.
So
that was my thought.
So that goes back to can it recognize when it found something that's not supposed to be there?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is it going to find, because it's looking at that specific discrete event and say, based on what I've been trained on, this event is security notable? Or is it going to have access to the whole knowledge of the SOC to be able to go and look at what's in there and compare with what it found now and say, oh, these two things are different. Sorry, this thing and the average of the other things is different enough that now this is a security notable event.
I can make an argument for either option, for giving it access to all of it or not giving it access to all of it, depending on how conspiracy theory laden I want to.
I want to leave you guys with a parting thought here.
Okay.
If separate the technology of DAST from the market of DAST. If the technology of DAST continued as open source and was run by people who saw value in the use of the tool for the functions they were doing, and it wasn't monetized, and then processed into the throw the kitchen sink at this problem to find as many things as possible, irregardless of the false positive rate. Is that, if you think about what happened there, and maybe those tools might have been useful as Swiss Army knives and not as kitchen sinks. And now think about AI and pen testing. Are we going to run into the same problem of monetization, trying to one-upmanship versus it's a tool that people can use to find things?
I think that's a good place to leave us. With that, we'll let the audience ponder that while we ponder it and are unable to sleep for probably the next week.
And also the nightmare of Chris going out and writing a DAST tool.
That's right. I've already got Claude working on it. It's already in design.
I'm sorry. I'm still
we'll be shipping. I'll be shipping this by lunchtime. So
I'm still stuck into the final meow. I haven't recovered yet.
Well, that's why I didn't click on I know better than to click on a link somebody sends me. You just got rickrolled by the cats of the final countdown.
Cool.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Security Table. And just remember that it's the final meow down.